I don't think that I ever understood just how important culture is to the success of the business. I ran my own practice for years. It was me, my brother-in-law, and a couple of legal assistants. We didn't have culture.
One of the biggest challenges that our firm faced was growth. At 10 people or 20 people, it's relatively easy to maintain culture because you know everyone. When you grow from 20 to 50 in 3 years, it's very hard to maintain that culture.
There's nothing worse than the feeling of turning that doorknob every day to come into your office and you don't want to go there. I've been there a few times over the 19 years that I started the law firm. You could talk about your values, you could talk about your culture, but it's really fake until you have a process to implement and reinforce your culture.
Before joining CRISP, we didn't have a culture. I don't think there was any alignment. I guess the biggest thing is that we had no vision, we had no core values.
And the one thing for us that I think was apparent is we had the New York office, and if you walk in the New York office, everyone's like head down, they're working. You walk into our Pittsburgh office, it's a different culture. I think from the beginning for us, that dichotomy in terms of culture is something like, how do you blend that?
Before joining CRISP, I hadn't given firm culture even a thought. I want there to be fun and joy in the workday. I also realize that it's important for my team to have integrity, to have excellence.
One thing that we have learned and appreciated about CRISP is every single team member with CRISP models CRISP's core values. You have to be constantly talking about the core values and the culture with your team every single day until it becomes so ingrained, it becomes who you are.
When we got into coaching with CRISP, we spent a lot of time talking to our coach and really being intentional about how are we going to grow. CRISP really taught us you can build a team that continues the culture that you've tried to establish. So we've really been focused on great communication, great contact with our folks, and then being able to celebrate them.
CRISP has given us the tools and countless ideas on how we can reinforce the intentional culture within the organization.
We have 4 team members that come to CRISP now and part of the CRISP experience. They're just amazed at the investment that we're making in them to allow them to come here, to grow, to learn.
We built the culture, our core values, and established them because of what we learned at CRISP.
I've learned, from CRISP that your culture is there whether or not you drive it. Now I think that there is a sense of purpose with the team. I do think that implementing some culture strategies, we do start to see everybody with a sense of working for the greater good.
Our first 3 attorneys that we hired, they all left the firm within about 9 months. We had to reevaluate pretty quickly. We needed to change really the culture of the firm and the type of people that we were looking for.
We really had the come to Jesus moment where we said something's got to give. We have to change something. Now that we understand the culture we want, the culture we have is truly amazing.
And I do think that what we got from that summit and what we have gotten in the years since then are tools that have allowed us to grow at a rate that I'm not sure that either one of us really envisioned.
Being in a room and being with an organization who knows what to do and can teach you how to do it and coach you and hold you accountable to do it, those allow me to help and serve the team in a way that I wouldn't be able to do if I was doing it by myself. CRISP has really, really been invaluable.